Or
Well,
just like the
probably
work
no. I'm
hours?
trying to think what we do. Sally, what do you normally do up there? I can tell you what we did at San Diego, but what did you do if anybody asks you for service hours? It's usually just during the time that you're with the kids.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
so
probably 8 hours a day or something.
yeah, I agree with Dr. Mimi.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome. Olga.
Hi. I just had a quick question. So I know you mentioned, or earlier in the slideshow, people mentioned about applying to two different camps. So I live in the Bay Area currently. I'm back from college, so I'm near both the Santa Clara and the Santa Cruz locations. But I'm also near Davis. So as I
They
understand,
aren't very far apart, are they?
sorry?
I said they're not very far apart.
No, no, they're not. So that's what I was gonna ask is it a good idea for me to apply to two or three of them, or should I just apply to one? What's kind of the
Where
recommended?
did you what camp did you attend?
Stanford, actually. I was,
Okay.
yeah, so a while
But
back.
that was well, but see, the thing is, the thing that they're looking for is typically your experience with the conditions. We're not at Stanford anymore. We're at Santa Clara. So
Mhm.
the Santa Clara camp is totally different than the Stanford camp was. And
Mhm.
because of that, even though there are a few people that are similar, I don't know that I think you probably ought to pick the one that you feel the most interest in, number one. And are you over 18?
Yeah, yes, I
Okay.
am. Mhm.
They'll be all over you to start with because they're always looking for adults. And so go ahead and submit your application, check the box that says multiple, and just say you're open to
Mhm.
whatever camp, right? Pick
Mhm.
one that you are most interested in, and then pick the box that says, I'm interested in multiple sessions, possibly, and then what you would possibly be interested in doing.
Okay. And then thank you for that. And then as a follow-up, just really quick, in
Yep.
terms of the difference between the camps, you're saying pick the one that you're the most interested in. Are the camps different? I guess what are the main differences? It's just the location, or is it actually like the different
Well,
types of
Santa
activities at camp?
Clara, I mean, Santa Clara is a private school. It's on a
Mhm.
small private campus in Santa Clara. So it's in more like a city-ish location.
Mhm.
Carson is Santa Cruz.
Mhm.
It's down near the water. It's at UC Santa Cruz. So it's in the public school facility. UC Davis is also a public school facility. So it's like, I mean, Sally, what can you say about the Davis that would be like interesting? That I mean, it's in the forest, right? You're in the,
Not
they
really.
have great boat races.
It's in like the middle of a field,
They have a
basically.
great boat race set up.
We do have a boat race.
That's
We do
fun.
have that cardboard
That's
boat
so
races.
fun.
Um, I don't
Maybe
know. I
I'll come
mean,
up there this year.
yeah, we would love to have you, Dr. Mimi.
That would be fun. What else,
Yeah.
Olga?
Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually attended Santa Cruz for a year, for 2 years. So I actually know kind of the area. So that's a
Yeah.
cool way to get back
I
into it.
mean,
Yeah.
Sally, do you think anything else other than her picking one and then saying I could potentially be interested in any? Some camps have an easier time getting adults than others do, but
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think you should apply for whatever school you think is best for you. Um, oh, I sound like a college application person. Um, but
recruiter.
a recruiter, yeah.
Oh, they'd be saying we're the best.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it would be good if you also put like multiple. But I do want to let you know that if when you do that, the directors do talk and they usually ask like, "Are you considering this applicant?" And like, um, we talk
It,
about,
it's not like you could get picked at one and not. I mean, what will happen is they'll talk, kind of like at work sometimes. The bosses talk amongst themselves and decide whether you get this job or that job, you know? And so it's possible that they would say, hey, this is why I like this person. And I would force that because I see all the applications and therefore I can see people that are applying to multiple camps. And I would let Sally know, and I would let the camp director at Santa Cruz and Hopper, I would let them know that this person has applied for multiple. And Olga, follow up with a letter and explain why you would do it. I think that will help.
Mhm.
And make sure you send it to all three camp directors then, or two,
Okay.
or however many you're interested in potentially.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you.
Okay. Inaya.
Hi, I have two questions. So my first question is for applying for the virtual camp build up coach or like social coach, what is the deadline?
Yeah, that one actually gets to go a little bit longer because it's the last week of July, right? So we actually can probably extend that out mid-March, maybe. It's still in Camp Back, it's going to say March 1st, but just know that nothing is going to prevent you from applying. It will just, it's just a date that's in there.
Okay. And then the second question is if we have like any recommendation letters from our teachers, should we like just send them to the director while we are emailing them or like attach that in the application somewhere?
Well, there's no place to attach it in the application.
Okay.
I'm thinking that, I mean, you could send something to the camp director. I think your words are more relevant to them than your teacher's words.
Okay.
So you explaining why you should be the person they pick is more relevant than having your teacher say, you should pick Susie because she's really good at math or whatever. So I would just, it's you, we want to hear about you. This is not like a college application. Okay. You don't
Thank you
have
so
to have,
much.
they will ask for references now. And
Okay.
so whether the camp directors actually follow up with that, you know, I think some do. If they didn't have you at camp, they probably will follow up. If they had you at camp, they might be less inclined to follow up with a reference.
Okay.
Zoe.
Dr. Mimi, I'm so sorry to interrupt you really quickly.
Yes, Madison.
Some people are asking if they can leave right now, so I was just quickly
Yeah.
wondering for programs if we can talk
Why
about
don't we wrap and we'll, so what we're going to do is be able to go over, we were going to wrap by 8:00. Why don't we just do the, if you've got a closing slide or something you want to share, those of you who still have questions, stick around. We are recording this and therefore we'll share the information with you afterwards.
Perfect. Okay, Elizabeth, if you go to the last slide, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry guys to interrupt your questions. We'll answer them right after and we can stay a little bit longer. But just for people who have to go around 8:00, I just want to quickly go over how you can stay connected in the Tech Trek alumni community. It's highly recommended that you should, and there's two ways to do this. You can first of all join our Slack you can also scan these two QR codes. I recommend that you save them. You can join our Slack where you will have direct messaging contact to any of the TTAC advisory board or other alumni. We also post a lot of different opportunities for students in there. So it's a great way to stay involved and really have that direct contact option with the Tech Trek alumni community. Alternatively, you can also follow our Instagram page at AAUW Tech Trek _TTAC. We post events, lots of different STEM informational posts. So it's highly recommended that you either get involved in the community somehow, either through the Slack or the Instagram or even both. But yeah, that's it. We can start resuming questions again.
Okay, so those of you who say goodbye, bye. And those of you who still have questions you want to answer, that's great. Let's go off the slide thing. So Zoe, back to you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so the question that I was planning to ask was, I was looking on the roles that were available, and I had noticed that there was one for a media coordinator,
Yeah.
and it had said like 16 plus. It said, I think, photographer or videographer, but unfortunately, I will not be 16 plus by the time that the camps will be happening, but I am 3 years prior. So am I still eligible to apply to those positions instead of just a peer counselor?
Sure. So, well, what happens with the social media? So the other thing, I mean, potentially you could do a workshop at a camp too. Like you could be a peer counselor and also be a workshop presenter. If you had an idea for a great workshop that you wanted to sell one of the camp directors on to do something on character development or something that maybe you think is important to STEM, but that too many places, it's not DNA extraction, but maybe you think it's important. And as long as it has something to do with STEM. So you could do that role. The media coordinator is a little bit of a special role because they have to have some autonomy. They have to be able to go off by themselves and take pictures.
I see.
And that means that they can't be a minor.
I see.
And so they could be working like at San Diego, there's usually two. And so we'll have somebody who is 18 plus working with somebody who may not be 18 plus. And so together they manage, we use Waldo, which is the software application. So we use Waldo for our to share imaging afterwards. Again, back to the privacy thing. But that's something you also could have a discussion about that you're interested in that role.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Zoe. Kalika.
Hi, I was wondering, are you able to apply for both the online and in-person camps?
Yeah.
And it won't matter?
No,
Okay.
everything works. Nobody's going to get pushed out like by the system. So yes, you are able to both to apply for both in the same
Thank you.
application.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Lily. Hi, Lily. How are you?
Nice. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so I just want to confirm one thing because I'm 18 plus and it has more than 3 years since I've been in Tech Track. So, but I never been a peer counselor because the year I was supposed to be in was COVID year, so things was complicated back then. So, would you recommend me applying to be peer counselor or like lead counselor?
So yeah, that puts you in an odd position. What they would probably, it depends on what kind of other adults they had volunteering for the 18. You're 18 plus, you said, not 16.
Yes, I'm 20 right now.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
So they would probably look at maybe asking you if you were interested in a door monitor role.
I
They
see.
might ask you if you were potentially, even though you've never been a peer counselor, depending on if they have a peer counselor already pre-identified that could be a lead peer counselor, they might ask you to consider doing that. They might ask you to maybe do, can you teach? Ask you if you would like to teach. Maybe you go into a teacher role. So I think they could find a role for you. So I would say you definitely should apply, not as a peer counselor, as some kind of an adult. Pick one or more of the other roles and then just say, you've never put it in your description. I've never been a peer counselor, but have you done a lot of babysitting?
I'm actually teaching a middle school class right now, so
There you go.
Okay.
I mean, so yeah, so I think you've got some experience that would apply, and I think you just say, well, what do you think you could do in a camp?
Okay.
Look at
Thank
the
you so
adult
much.
role.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Addison.
I just have a quick question. So I'm a sophomore, and if I applied for this summer and got in, because I'm 16 plus as a peer counselor, could I then reapply junior year and possibly get in?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Okay. Marissa.
Hi, I just had a really quick question. So for the reference letters, could we ask for one from my peer counselor when I was a camper?
Yeah, and it's a reference. All you need to do is their name and a phone number, I think, or a name and an email or something.
Okay, so when we email the person in charge after applying, do we just say like give their contact info?
Check with the old peer counselor first
Yeah.
to make sure they're cool with it, right?
Yeah.
They don't go, oh, who are you? You know, so that's always possible. But
Wait,
if,
yeah, she already offered to
there
write
you
me a
go.
reference. Yeah.
Just say so and so suggested that I apply.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Thank you so much.
name drop. Very important to learn how to appropriately name drop.
Okay.
Vivian,
Hi, I just had two quick questions. First, I know that y'all said this in the beginning of the presentation, but the email to the camp supervisor, I think it was called, what does that entail? Is that more kind of like selling ourselves into the role, or is that something else?
I'm great. That's what that's all about. You're supposed to be selling yourself into the role, telling them how you can add value to the camp, how you can be a benefit to them, what you've done since you left camp. You know, give them a synopsis of everything that's in the application. So, because they're going to go there and look at that first. I mean,
Okay.
that's the first thing they see. They're not going to be checking every application as they come in. They're going to pay attention. If they see something that's interesting to them, they're going to go, oh, let me go check this out a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't think they know how inundated they're going to be after this call. I'm just saying.
My second question was, I don't think anyone mentioned this during the presentation, but if you do apply this summer and you get in for an on-person camp, are you allowed like the next camp to apply again as a peer counselor, or is this similar to being a camper and it's a one-time thing?
Oh, like next year apply to be a counselor again? Yeah, you can come back year after year.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much.
We like people who come back. Although, you know, we do like to give other people opportunities too to do the peer counselor role. But yes, we like people who come back.
Okay, thank you.
The frequent volunteer. We like that. Madeline.
Hello. I just have like a quick question. So I was I believe a camp like one of the what's it called? The students that attended the camp like maybe 5 years ago, except I remember I saw the email for volunteering like maybe like 3-ish years ago. And so I didn't have the opportunity to like help and volunteer. So I was wondering if there's like priorities to like volunteers that have already done camp like more recently. And
No, like preference? No, not really. Not really. What camp were you at?
oh, I was a virtual camp, so it was because of COVID.
Virtual. Oh, no, we'd love to see you back. See, a virtual camp is kind of like riding a bike. Once you've done virtual camp, I mean, we haven't changed it that much, Madeline, since way back when. You know, some of the activities are a little different, but you're welcome back.
Oh, and I also wanted to know, if I wait, actually, I think I already saw it because I think you meant or someone mentioned that if I was like either like a virtual camp or in-person camp, I would have, or they would be more preference to, say like someone going into virtual camp, and then they would be more preference to volunteering for virtual camp. The next time?
So if you attended virtual camp, you would definitely have preference to go to a virtual camp as a coach over somebody who is at an in-person camp. We do also, because I mean, virtual camp in 2020 and 2021, people did not have a choice. You either did virtual camp or you didn't do Tech Trek, right? And so virtual camp, that was what you had available to you. And the fact that people maybe didn't get the opportunity to go to an in-person camp. So for instance, Elizabeth did an virtual camp, but she was able to work at UCSD because we weren't at UCSD until 2023, right? And so we didn't come back there after COVID. And so she ended up doing a virtual camp. And yet she was able to go to San Diego last year and volunteer at San Diego. So, and it's because we knew who she was, and we knew, and she had volunteered in the year in between. on top of that for virtual camp. So she was a known entity, and it just makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, you can do all that stuff. Come
Oh,
back
okay.
again. Thanks,
Thank you.
Madeline. Maddie, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi, Dr. Mimi, how are you?
Good.
So I was just wondering, the last 2 years that I have volunteered, some of the camps have come up short on like applications for the peer counselors. So do
I
you
don't think that's going to happen this year, but maybe.
Okay. So, I was just wondering if maybe applying to like multiple would just get me a chance at like any of them because I don't really have a preference.
Well, I think, maybe put it in for one, and just like I said, put a note in and say where were you were at Santa Barbara last year?
I was at USD last year.
Oh, you were with us here at USD,
Yeah.
right? So if if Santa Barbara is something that is of interest to you, then you might want to go to Santa Barbara and say, hey, well, I was at USD.
Okay.
But 6 of one, half a dozen of another. It's that you're a known entity. You're going to get invited first, basically. Like next week, you'll get an invitation as a prior staff to submit your application. And you would probably, if you were to, usually we ask people before they leave camp, are you interested in coming back?
Yeah.
So I think we did last
I think-
year. And
I think so. Yeah.
but you guys, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen a year from now. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that there's any real benefit to it. If you were not a known, there might be benefit where you are like potentially you could go to multiple places and you were an adult. That would be definitely different.
Okay.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you so much.
Isa. Is it Isa? Asa?
Hi, Isa.
Isa. Cool.
Hi. So I'm currently 18 plus, and I had a similar question to someone else about how I was wondering if I can apply as a lead peer counselor because I am 18 plus and I saw on the slides, but you were saying that I can ask to be a dorm monitor or do teaching. I was wondering if you can go more into detail on that, please.
Sure. Well, so like I said, you always have to have the adult who's responsible for a group of kids. And so if you're a dorm monitor, you would be, you're essentially, we used to call them dorm moms.
Yeah.
Okay. You're the person who they're going to go to, that they're going to say, I have a sliver or whatever, I don't feel comfortable. You're going to have to deal with some of the more immediate emotional meltdown stuff that potentially could happen because the kid's never been away from home or, there potentially. Now, the reality is we don't have that happen very often.
Yeah.
I would say that I don't think in the camps I've been in, I've had to send maybe one kid home for homesickness early where they were it was too bad. I've had a couple. They come, and I can usually see it's mom's fault pretty quickly, but they come and the kid will say, oh, I don't think I'm comfortable here. And they'll leave. So they'll show up, they'll register, and they'll leave before the day is even out. And it's like, okay, mom says she can't take it. So we have to go home. So I think the Sally, you want to talk any more about those roles? You're you'll be in the same space as them, although depending on the camp, you may be in a hall close to your campers, or you could be in a suite with your campers.
Okay.
You will never be in a room with a minor ever.
Yeah.
Rooming you'll typically have a room by yourself or with another adult. Sally?
Yeah, so when I was a dorm monitor, it was more like you're basically kind of the teacher involved. Like, you're not really teaching them anything. Well, you're like teaching them life lessons, but like You're like more of like the
The
authority
adult.
figure. You're the adult in the room, basically. And you have to, as a dorm monitor, you have to keep track of your 10 ducklings.
Chickadees,
And
yeah.
yeah, and it's really what it's like because they like to wander off.
It's like
Um,
herding cats. Ooh, I'm gonna use that the next time. It's like herding cats sometimes. They're good but they're 13 years old, 12, 13 years old, and they're gonna be like wanting to, can I go do this? And I will say this, and you all remember this. Come on, you remember it from camp. You're at the beginning of camp, you don't know anybody, you're afraid to do stuff. By Thursday, you're going, woo! It's like being on a zip line on that last thing, and it's like, oh yeah, that was cool. So all of a sudden, all holds are barred, and you're no holds are barred, and you're just everything is loose. So around about Wednesday or Thursday is when they start, the hair comes down.
And then, I'm so sorry, just to add on, Sally, as a quick question, were you a dorm monitor or like,
I was
the
also a dorm monitor at one point.
And you were a lead peer counselor too.
And a lead
Yeah.
peer counselor.
In 2019, were you the counselor, right?
I was
Or
just a peer counselor, yeah.
oh, okay, okay. Yes, because I remember really liking your role actually. So, but if I applied, oh, I was gonna add on to this. If I applied as a peer counselor, I know you were talking about the no phones for the minors. Since I'm over 18, would that still apply to me or?
Well, you probably wouldn't be a peer counselor
Yeah.
because you'd be under 18. So you would be in some kind of a role. And the adults typically have their phones.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because you have to be able to anybody has to be able to use your phone to contact the other adults in your, whether you got a WhatsApp group or a chat, a group chat going or whatever, to keep people informed about what's happening where. That was the biggest issue, by the way, with cell phones was, well, the counselor saying, well, what if we're off somewhere and we have to let people know that we're off somewhere? And my first comment was an adult with you? No. Oh, why were you off by yourself without an adult? And so you should always be with an adult who should be able to let you use their phone if you need for an emergency.
Yeah.
Or to call home because you miss your cat or something.
Yeah. So sorry, lastly, just to add on, would you recommend that I look at, I haven't checked out the site yet, but so there would be more specific adult roles for that or because
Yeah, there's a thing, it's called volunteer roles or something on the website, I think is and it's a chat, it's a link, and it describes all the different jobs. Maybe you want to be a director in training. Who knows, Aisa? Who knows?
Okay. For sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sophia, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. First of all, Isa, I love your hair. I was thinking that. Second of all, I emailed you prior, I think maybe a week ago about the dates of all the camps. I just wanted to get UC Santa Barbara straight because I went there and that's the one I was looking forward to most.
Last week.
Yes, yeah. Because
21 through 27, right? Yeah.
Mhm. On the website, it says June 21st to 27, but when I click on it and it brings me to UC Santa Barbara's
21 to 27.
Yeah, June 21 to 27.
Oh, okay.
But then when I go onto the page, it says July.
What page?
Like, I'll see the list 2026 Tech Trek camps. And then it'll list all of them. So you see Santa Barbara is at the top, and that one says June 21st to 27. But when I go onto UC Santa Barbara's page in the Tech Trek thing, it says 2026 camp dates is July 21st to 27.
It's not. And now they may have started with that one, but it's not. I think it was just that's a typo on somebody's part, because I think July 21st to 27th isn't even a week. You know,
Yeah.
it's like over a weekend, starts on a Thursday and ends on a Tuesday. So
Oh, okay.
they
So you
probably
think
just,
it's the June one, right?
yeah, it's definitely June.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely June.
Thank you so much. I really appreciated it. This entire
Caitlin,
meeting was so helpful, and
okay, good,
I've been waiting for this for so long.
good. I'm
Thank
glad. Good
you.
to see you. Caitlin,
Hi. So
hi.
I had a question about the recommendation letters from AUW members. Is that
Uh-huh.
included like on the application or is that attached separately? And if so, how does that work?
I would just, if you're gonna send one, there's nothing in the application that you can attach. So you would have to send it to an email, and I would just say send it if you are sending your I applied letter into the camp that you're applying to, just attach it at that point. Or just say, tell them that such and such a member recommended that I apply for this role. And so then they'll go back and say, okay, who's the member, right? They would go back. And so you just tell them who the branch person's name is, and they should recognize the name of that person because we know the names of all the branch coordinators who are dealing with at the camp level. So we are plugged into that.
Okay,
You
thank you
can
so much.
attach or just attach the letter. You can have them write a letter and attach it. Send it to the
Okay.
camp.
Thank you, Dr. Mimi.
Welcome, Caitlin. Shiloh.
Hi, I was a virtual camper in 2023 and I loved it so much, but I was also wondering if like I think there's priority to in-person campers to be a peer counselor in person, right? So would my only opportunity to really be uh online counselor or
No, I would say apply to both.
okay.
You're old enough. You're
Mhm.
23. Most
Oh
of
no,
the camp, I mean,
it
right,
was I'm 3 years post camp.
right.
Yeah.
So most of the camps have a robotics course that they
Mhm.
would love to have somebody help with.
Okay.
So having somebody that's knowledgeable, where are you located?
I'm closest to UC Davis, but I'm
UC
also near like Santa Clara. That's
Okay.
pretty
I
close
know
to.
they do some robotics there. In fact, I just sent some of my Mindstorm stuff up there. They
Okay.
don't necessarily do Arduino. Did you do Arduino, Sally? No, you do something else, don't you?
No, we do more like the Lego robotics.
Yeah. So I know Carson does Arduinos too up there.
Mhm.
So they had Arduinos last year, and I think they planned on doing that this year too.
I'm pretty close to a lot of different college campuses because I'm near SAC, so a lot of them are like close by.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and apply to both of them, and
Okay.
you'll definitely be considered for both.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Winnie, how are you, Winnie? How
Oh,
are the
I'm good.
kitties?
Oh yeah, she's doing really well, getting a little fat too. Oh, how are you, Dr. Mimi? It seems like
Good,
I haven't
thanks.
seen you in so long.
I know.
Yeah. I really like volunteering like this like last summer, like actually, oh time flies. Like as a build coach and like I'm planning on returning like this year too. But like I was also wondering like if there's like any way that I can get involved like outside of camp, like maybe in the branches or something, like help out with like like selection or something.
Oh, where are you located?
Castro Valley.
Castro. Oh, yes. So Jerry Johnstone, who is the director at the Carson camp, or co-director at the Carson camp, is also branch coordinator for Hayward Castro Valley. So yeah, and she just started up a whole new group, and she's trying to get a T-tag group started. So I gotta tell you, is anybody else here potentially looking at Carson? Because that would put, if I were you, I would leverage that big time and say, I'll help you with T-tag. I'll help you with helping figure out camper selection, all that stuff. And I think that would put you in a pretty good position for a counselor role at Carson, if that's what you wanted to do. But I think they would definitely be interested, especially since you know robotics, Winnie.
Yeah. Is there any way you could like drop the email like in the chat? Because I done my own research like before, but like on the website I couldn't find like the tech truck director for Castro Valley.
So that's good. You did good because she's not there yet, but yes, she should be there now. She's actually Jerry. I think let me find her thing. It's like Jerry at buglady.org or something. She's the bug lady. That's how I remember. And she used to be a science teacher. Let me see. Jerry. Oh, here we go. Yeah. It's Jerry at buglady.com. Let me grab it. Cut. Paste. All right. Did I post? Did I send? Oh, yeah, it's in there. Jerry at buglady.com. Why is that way back? Oh, because it's 8:23. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mimi. This meeting was super helpful.
You're welcome. Unuchiso, how are you?
Hi, yes, I'm good, and you?
Good. How can I help you?
Okay, so while I was listening to everyone, I had a few clarifying questions. Like what Isaac said, do you have to be 18 to be a dorm mom, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And is that the same thing as the lead peer counselor?
No, the dorm monitor is really going to be responsible for a group of girls, campers, and she'll have a couple counselors helping her, right? Working with her, 1 to 2 counselors working with her, depending on how many counselors they have. The lead peer counselor, typically, you could be a lead peer counselor and be responsible for like all of the logistics. That's what you're going to do. Or you could be the lead peer counselor and you're responsible for coordinating all the rest of the peer counselors. So you could be in like a lead peer counselor role, but not necessarily have all of the peer counselors that you kind of have to be responsible for. You could be doing something else too, but not necessarily in a high level leadership role, but more help camp operations. I guess you could be maybe a social media coordinator and be a lead peer counselor because you're over 18, right? So you're over 18.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm just saying because I do want to come back like next year.
Yeah.
And okay, and I know you were kind of encouraging people who were 18 or above to like look at something other than peer counselors, like other roles, like you said, media coordinator.
Right.
So my question was, like, can you not be a peer counselor if you're 18? Because I know the roles are for like 16 plus.
Yeah. No, it's really up to 18 because the issue is we want anybody that's over 18 to help us be responsible for somebody. And if you're a peer counselor, you're not really technically responsible for anybody other than getting kids up and stuff. But if they didn't get up and they didn't do what you said, you could go to Sally or you could go to your dorm monitor and say, Susie's not getting up. Somebody's going to help you. As the adult in the room, you're going to have to be the go-to person to solve problems before it gets to the Sally level. So as a lead peer counselor, you could do any kind of number of things, but typically we're going to want them to be in a leadership kind of role where they're helping us in a bigger way than just being a peer counselor.
Okay. And the Carson thing you mentioned earlier, is it like a subject to an age or is it just volunteering for the application process?
Say that again, hon.
The Carson volunteer opportunity
Oh,
you just
it's
mentioned.
all
Yeah,
the
it's like,
all the applications are the same. There just would be a place you would apply on the application for Carson or Davis or Sonoma or any of the other camps. You'd pick one of them. And then there's a place down farther that you would say, are you interested in multiple roles? Just because they may not pick you for multiple roles, you still can apply for them, right? And I mean, you still are eligible. Nothing's going to keep you from applying. It's just that they may definitely be less inclined, unless you're an adult or have some special skills or powers, they're going to be less inclined to put a peer counselor at 2 in-person camps. You might be able to do an in-person camp and the virtual camp.
okay. And is this like with the helping with the application process?
No, that would be helping with so you're talking about helping out at the branch level. That you would like helping the branch people
Yeah.
review their applications. So what branch are you at, hon?
Beach Cities.
Beach City. So Ann, do you know Ann?
Yeah.
Okay. See if Ann needs some help.
Okay.
Because I mean, that would be what I would do, is reach out to Ann and say, can I help with some of the activities? And I'm sure she would say, yeah, we'd love to have your help. So yes, that's a pot, but that you don't have to go through Camp Doc. You would work directly with the branch coordinator there. Now, if you wanted to leverage that into then a camp role at some point in the future, and I'd recommend this for all of you, connect with your branch people, get them to know you, make yourself visible, because if you don't have visibility, when it comes time for a recommendation for you for college, a recommendation for you for whatever, they need to know you to be able to do that recommendation, right? They need to know your work and the things that they're going to be recommending you for. So you get visible and join. Most branches now are trying to do a little bit more with getting the alums a little bit more engaged. So take advantage of that when they reach out. Step up, raise your hand, and say, I'd like to help.
Okay. And one last question. Is there like a list for the core classes for each university?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. We've never really compiled one, because sometimes from year to year, teachers move on and we have to find a new, completely new class. So I'd say, all right, here's the rule. The rule: every camp has to have an engineering and a computer course. That's the rule. The only camp that gets away with it is virtual, because they do engineering and robotics together. And that's why they're able to get away with it.
Okay.
But every camp has to have those two. The other ones, it depends on who they can get that's going to come in and help teach a course, and whether the course that they taught this year, they liked it, or they want to do something different. So that's all over the place. Where'd you go? Which camp did you go to?
UC Santa Barbara.
You went to Santa Barbara. So I don't think they're going to have a marine science course this year, but they might.
Oh.
And then they would transport the people. They're off campus this year, just so you know. There's the towers section about a mile off the main campus, and they're off there this year. So because they raised that whole area and are redoing the res hall and the cafeteria, that whole thing is all being redone. So they had to move them temporarily to the towers slightly off campus. But I think they are going to have boat races there, Sally. My new favorite activity is like, I want the boat races. That look like so much fun. Using cardboard boxes to build a boat to get across the water. It was great. Okay, I think we're done with questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Elizabeth, you want to wrap us up here?
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you learned more about the application process and got all your questions answered. Yeah, so thank you for coming. Uh, and then if
Well,
you have
there'll
any
be
more
a brief,
questions, we
a
have
brief chat at the survey at the end when you sign out. Don't skip the survey. We like surveys. You know, that gives us some good information about what you liked, what you didn't like, and the kinds of things that you would like to see in the future beyond just this. Thank you. Good luck. Hope to see some of you this summer.
Thank you.
Bye, Julia. Thank you again for helping me with that Spanish.
Of course, I'm happy to help in the future.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye, Dr. Mimi.
Bye, Elizabeth, Carolyn.